Welcome home all. It is a Monday and it is time for your 10 minutes of truth. Got a few things to get through today. Again, it is on a Monday. Love to kick off the week that way. Give you 10 minutes of hard-hitting factual information to start your week and to kind of crystallize before you hear all the news and the noise. Separate the chaff from the wheat, right? And you got to get it unfiltered and straight to the point. So a couple things before we get started. Actually, one thing before we get started. So tomorrow, today is the 4th. Today is the 4th of May. Tomorrow is the 5th of May. See how that works? One day later. And in my neck of the woods, that's also called Cinco de Mayo. All right? So Supermex does have a Supermex Cinco event that's going to take place at the end of this week. So we got it here up on screen for you. It's called the Cinco by Supermex International Online Music Festa. Interested artists, and this is real simple. I'm going to put this out. We still have time. So any interested artists or musicians that want to be a part of this on the weekend, it's an opportunity for you to get your music out and be heard. Contact me. My number's on there. You can contact me directly, 559-906-5399. So if you are an artist or musician in English, then your music needs to be recorded. I need a half-hour to 1 hour set from you. Recorded. You can record it however you want, but get it to me so I can get it to KP and we can do it at the last minute. Anyway, get it into me even now. We have a number of days before we actually have a deadline to cut off. But if you are an interested artist, you just want to be heard, you want your music out, and it's your music, you can even do covers. I don't care. Point is, we want to create music for people. Create music for the Cinco de Mayo event. So English will be on Saturday. And if you're a Supermex and you do Spanish, then that music will air on the Sunday. It's going to kick off at 5 p.m. each of those nights. So Supermex International is providing for you a weekend of music for the Cinco de Mayo event. Not going to do it tomorrow because it's on a Tuesday, it's during the week. We're going to do it on the weekend. So again, the Cinco by Supermex International, Online Music Fest. I need you to contact me ASAP. You need to contact me now. If you know someone that wants to be heard and wants to get their music out, contact me immediately. My phone number is right there. I always answer. If I don't, I'll get right back to you. 906-5399, area code 559. Okay, so English Saturday, Espanol on Sunday. So you can do it in English or Spanish. Doesn't matter to me. More music, the better. Okay, so that's a big one. That's going to go off this weekend for the Cinco de Mayo week. I don't just do a day. I'm doing the whole week. All right, so tomorrow's the Cinco de Mayo, and we'll do the event on the weekend. I've got that up on my page. I'll put it out, again, all through my social media. Anybody, any artist that wants to be a part is welcome to be a part. And we might make this an ongoing thing because we've gotten a good little reception. We like the concept of it. Can't go to a concert, can't go to games, can't go to other things, right? Let's do this. Let's get technologically advanced and move forward and get some stuff done that other people are already doing. I had planned this before. It just turns out that this might be the way to go from now on. Okay, so enough of that. I've got a really heavy in concept issue to address with you. Not bad, all good. I'm going to point out and spotlight something that I've seen and researched, vetted, and studied, analyzed, and came up with like, wow, this is good. This is good. So this past week, if you were with me on the Friday, we had just finished up Sexual Assault Awareness Month. I was really happy with what we did on the Friday for Cheap Date Night. I was really happy. I'll just leave it at that we covered that topic for the entire month. And as most of you know, I grew up in a single mom home and got nothing but love for the ladies, especially the ladies out there kicking ass doing their thing. So that's kind of in that vein that we're going to talk about an item tonight. And then we'll wrap up because it's a quick 10 minutes of truth. But again, all truth, all factual, all stuff that is right now. You can research yourself. And again, I've always done that with you. If you don't trust me or you doubt me because you're new, most of you guys that aren't new, you do trust me and you don't doubt because I don't put out garbage. I don't put out lies. I don't put out falsehoods. And I've got no ulterior motive or agenda to try to swindle you, hornswoggle you, make you less understanding. Okay, it is about factual information. So in this ugly time that we're dealing with all over the planet, right, the coronavirus has affected, quite literally the whole world, and it has left its mark in indelible and ugly ways throughout the world and for humanity to ponder and try to internalize and understand after this thing is done, whenever it is done. But some things that have crystallized and that I've noticed within this first quarter of the year, the first 2, 3, 4 months of the year, because we're now into May. But over the last number of months, I've noticed some things have, settled, and you can make some reasoned and rational decisions based on facts and evidence. So my title for you tonight for 10 Minutes of Truth is Wanted, World Leaders. In this case, of the female variety. So take a look over here, this side of the coin. And so I've got a wanted sign up, okay, because what you got here is 7 world leaders, all ladies, all females, Germany, Taiwan, New Zealand, Iceland, Finland, Norway, and Denmark. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, not a coincidence that there's a very good percentage of female world leaders in Europe, and in some of those places in particular, that's more developed countries are more likely to have female leaders. That's a reality, that's a fact, that's a historical fact, by the way, and I am an old history teacher. So I want you to take one more look at this before I let it go, but wanted, world leaders. Now, why am I saying that? Because the 7 ladies that are pictured here on my wanted sign for world leadership are kicking ass, taking names, and in this case, taking virus name. Quite literally, kicking ass and taking virus name. They are doing it right in a lot of different ways, but 1 + 1 equaling 2, the sum total of their efforts, these ladies here, the sum total of their efforts are adding up to what? Less death by percentage and by ratio, by population, than just about all other countries on the planet. Now, there are some others, don't get me wrong, but I'm singling out these 7 in particular. And they have done a hell of a job, and again, researched, read, vetted. I've done a lot of work in studying what these ladies have done in a lot of different ways. I don't have time to do that because it'll be well beyond 10 minutes, but I'm pointing these particular ladies out because I want you to be mindful and aware that these ladies are doing a good job, a really exceptional job when it comes to saving lives. Okay, let's get to that number next, KP. And as always, Supermex brings to you facts, figures, information, incontrovertible stuff. So as of today, I think this might be last night or into today, up-to-date stats and figures. So in Denmark, if I don't get the names right or wrong, or excuse me, if I don't get the names right and they are wrong, I've got long-distance apologies to each of the ladies that I butcher a name on. So in Denmark, I think it's Mette Frederiksen. Number of cases total coronavirus cases in Denmark, 9,523. Number of deaths, 484 deaths total. Iceland, Katrín Jakobsdóttir, doing that like an old Nordic guy, right? 1,799 cases, 10 deaths. 10. You heard me right. Finland, Sanna Marin, and she's young. I think she's like in her early 30s, young relative, right? But in her early 30s, very young world leader. 5,254 total cases, 230 total deaths. In Germany, by far the largest, by the way, in population of all these, that's why the numbers are much greater, but a much larger, tens of millions of people as opposed to some of the smaller countries. Angela Merkel, you guys know the name, she's been around a long time now. Number of cases, 166,000 cases, 6,000 total deaths, 6,000 total. New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, I've become more a fan of hers, specifically after the New Zealand shooting from a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago, where she took immediate action. We'll get to that in a second. 1,487 cases, 20 deaths total. 20. I mean, the numbers here are kind of staggering in the right way, not in the wrong way. Norway, I think it's Erna Solberg. Number of cases, 7,847 confirmed COVID cases. 211 deaths. In Taiwan, Tsai Ing-wen, number of cases 436. 436 cases and only 6 deaths. Only 6 deaths. Okay, so let's leave that up for a second, KP. So what I want to point out, like, they're not all like uniform or the same in terms of their population, how many cases and how many deaths, but the one thing that is striking is by percentage of their population, they are extremely low. And in the case of Taiwan in particular, and again, you don't want to jinx anything, because if you're jinxing something here, people die. Don't want to do that. But that lady, Tsai, in Taiwan, they have come as close to the term containment as any country in the world. Contained. I'm talking about contained. In the United States, we lost containment like day one. We have no chance of containment. It's all over the place because we have 50 different states doing 50 different things. Everybody's doing their own individual. Got no leadership. That's a fact. In these cases, clear leadership. The one thing that I noticed in reading information on all of these ladies and the actions they took, a couple things that struck out at me that I'm down with like 100%. They acted immediately. They were decisive in their actions. They erred on the side of caution, so it made it like, oh, they're overreacting. They overreacted in the right way. They took decisive, firm, and serious action in a heartbeat. Closed borders, immediately started testing. There's another one that we didn't do a good job of, and that's just a fact. You don't like it, I don't care. It's a fact. We sucked, and we still do, at testing our populace. These ladies have done a hell of a job of testing, contact tracing after the testing, quarantine and confinement if someone has the virus, and you end up with numbers in the case of Taiwan, and a very small country. They're nowhere near as large as us. But I'm going to say it again. 6 cases, 6 deaths, total. Their percentage of population, I mean, it just really kicks our asses bad in the United States. Okay? So as a whole, these ladies were decisive. They did not hesitate. They acted immediately. They didn't do that, see which way the political winds were blowing. They've caught a lot of hell from some of their constituencies, some of their countrymen. But when it's all over and done, you want a leader that's going to make a decision based on what's best for people and what's going to save lives. Not about what's best for them personally. And I'm going to put it on the table right here before we wrap up. Gentlemen, yeah, you do think about all those other things first before you make a decision. These ladies, and they're not perfect and they're not saints by any means, mind you, but I will say the numbers don't lie. Facts, ladies and gentlemen, as my homie John Adams reminds me almost on a daily, facts indeed are stubborn things. They don't go away no matter how much you wish them to. The 7 ladies that I've singled out and that I brought forward to you tonight clearly acted, were decisive. They made political decisions based on what was best for their people, not about what was best for themselves. In our country and in other countries, we have gentlemen, guys, men, that talk tough and blame other people and try to run circles around what the truth is. These ladies don't. Something to consider for you gentlemen, and definitely for you ladies. You guys are doing it right in a lot of ways. Don't get me wrong, don't go there, but not everybody's a saint, not everybody's perfect. But the numbers are beginning to show me a pattern, and definitely on a world scale, when it comes to the coronavirus, the numbers do not lie. They are tracing, they are testing in greater numbers than we, by population, obviously because we're much bigger. But the percentage of their population, and I'm going to say it again, that last one in particular, check her out, Tsai Ing-wen in Taiwan. They have contained the virus. That is a pipe dream for us. We will never contain it. It's done. We blew it. We sucked at it, and now all we can do is hope to mitigate and keep the losses to a smaller number. We're already nearly 70,000. Look at that number. Combine all those countries, and it's not even a fraction of what we've lost in our country. Now, why am I bringing it up? Because we're losing damn lives, American lives. And if you don't see that as a problem, you're part of the problem. Think about that. Those ladies are it. Get into them, research them, try to find something noticeably absent. If you saw, some of you will say, because somebody brought it up to me a few days ago, where's Sweden at in those Norwegian countries? Sweden, I am monitoring. They've taken a different road. But in relation to Norway, in relation to Finland, in relation to the other Nordic countries around them, Denmark, etc., their numbers are worse. I hope it's best for them. I hope their road that they've chosen is good. I honestly do. Otherwise, people die. And I don't want to see people dying. What the hell's wrong with you? Okay? But their numbers are nowhere near what those ladies are putting up in the exact same region in the Nordic countries. Okay? So I am moderating and trying to keep an eye out for what is going to happen with the Swedish numbers in relation to their Nordic neighbors. And I don't think they have a female leader. See how that works? Okay, so that's my 10 minutes of truth. I absolutely want you to pay attention to these ladies, because they've done a hell of a job in a lot of different ways. They did things better than we did. And I don't care anymore if you have issue with that. I'm going to say it again. If you have issue with those ladies saving lives of their citizens, you got a problem, not me. What we should do is what America used to do. Learn, damn it, learn. Get ahead of the curve. Save lives. Save your fellow Americans. Stop making excuses. Stop crying about stuff. Stop trying to get out of stuff. Stop waiting to see how it's going to look. Stop waiting to see what they're going to talk about when they cover you. Save lives. Stop making damn excuses. Lastly, before I go, it is May the 4th. So I'm going to leave you with this nice little image in a good way before I head out. You guys know I got my thing for, the old Star Wars. So today is the 4th, and I want to make sure that for all of you, Supermex is telling you, may the 4th be with you. Welcome home all. It is a Monday, and it is time.